From hated to a hero. This is how Dwight Howard redeemed himself in LA.
Of course, we'll no doubt hear this all night, and Howard gets the first answer back with a nice lefty jump hook.
In fact, he's 4th in the NBA in dunks. And that draw, and look at him, he's baiting the crowd, and they're responding.
Look, I don't want to be that guy, but also, I told you so. Dwight Howard and Carmelo Anthony out of the league, basically. So many people writing them off. But all they needed was a second chance, and Dwight Howard has redeemed himself. And honestly, I'll go as far to say that Dwight Howard is the heart and soul of this Lakers team. But before I get into it, I really would appreciate if you guys could drop a like on the video. It takes 1 second of your time and it really supports the channel. Let's see if we can reach 1,000 likes for the next video. If you're new around here and you enjoy NBA content, why not hit that subscribe button? And it would be amazing if you could press the notification button so you get notified when my videos go live. With that said, let's get into the video. No, he's not the best player on the court. No, he's not even the best defensive player. He's a man that's 34 years old, but he's a man that has changed the game and the Lakers organization this season alone. Non-guaranteed contract, doesn't know if he'll play, takes the minimum amount of money, but he's there to win. He's there to put and do everything he can for the team. Doesn't matter if he doesn't score, it doesn't matter what his role is. He was there from the start of the year to now, where he's one of the most loved players by LA fans, and that is something that nobody could have imagined after that 2012-13 season. He paired up with Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Pau Gasol, and Metta World Peace, and that team was seen as one of the better teams in the 2012 offseason going into the 2013 season. Many fans expected that team to be one of the greatest. As we all know, it didn't work out. Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant had their feud, and when it didn't work out, Dwight Howard was the guy that was the scapegoat, because when you think about it, this was LA. This was Kobe's team. No one was going to look at Kobe Bryant, especially Lakers fans, and be like, yeah, he let us down this year. They were going to look at Dwight Howard, the new acquisition, the center that they thought would be the most dominant player in the league. Instead, they didn't win, and all the blame was left on Dwight Howard, who was injury riddled and obviously didn't get along with Kobe.
For one, looking back on it, I shouldn't have played, but I think I allowed what was being said in the media, and the whole circus around that season affect my judgment, Playing with a torn labrum is no joke. There's a lot of guys who have surgeries, they miss a whole season. And I played every game except 6. And at the time, I was upset that he would do that because I would expect, him to, just protect, his teammate.
And he basically said publicly that you should be playing through the injury.
Oh, yeah, he did. But it's okay.
And the fans ultimately hated Dwight. They despised him. Even though when you look at it in retrospect, he did play 76 games for that team. He played through nagging injuries. And he still averaged 17 points, 12.5 rebounds, shooting 57% from the field on 10 field goal attempts per game. Nevertheless, if you rewind yourself back to the end of the season, where the Lakers were eliminated in the first round against the San Antonio Spurs, Dwight Howard was hated upon. But today, 2019, 2020, Dwight Howard is loved again. He's a man that the Lakers fans have welcomed back with open arms after being tentative at the start of the year when the Lakers signed him. But it wasn't only the Lakers fans that were tentative, it was also the Lakers organization as a whole. They signed him on a non-guaranteed contract, and now look at him. He's officially signed for the rest of the year. He's putting up some great stats for a guy that's only averaging less than 20 minutes per game at 19.5 minutes per game. He averages 7 points, 7 rebounds, 1.5 blocks, shooting 73% from the field. Yeah, 73% from the field. Not to mention, in the last few games, Dwight Howard's been averaging around 20 minutes per game. He's averaged around 10 points on 75% shooting. He shot a 3 and made it, averaged around 11 rebounds per game, and an astonishing 5 blocks. And with Davis going down against the New York Knicks, it looks like Dwight Howard may see some more minutes in the future as well, which is going to be exciting to see how he performs if he can get some more minutes. Because it's not necessarily what Dwight Howard is doing in terms of stats, it's the way that he's impacting the game, and this is how Dwight Howard has redeemed himself and got the Lakers fans to love him. Number 5. There is no expectations or pressure going into this season. Dwight Howard going into the 2012-13 season had enormous pressure. He was coming off a stint in Orlando where he was one of the most dominant big men in the league. He averaged around 20 points, 1.5 steals, 2 blocks, 14.5 rebounds, shooting 57% from the field. And he was the guy that you could build around in Orlando. They'd previously made it to the NBA Finals, and Dwight Howard was seen as one of the better players in the league, almost winning an MVP. Then he got to LA, and it was just disappointing. So obviously he had expectations. But this season, at 34 years old, there was no expectations. The Lakers themselves signed him on a non-guaranteed contract, and this is the best thing that Dwight Howard could have had. He has no pressure. He plays with enjoyment now. And I think with Kobe Bryant in 2012, he didn't have the enjoyment factor. He was there to win a championship, and Kobe was there to push him and make him work hard to win an NBA championship, because that's what Kobe was about. He was all about winning. And when you look at Dwight Howard, he was obviously there to win, but he's also the kind of guy that needs a bit more enjoyment, and that's the way he plays, and that's where he strives first. So with no expectations and no pressure, I think that was the best thing that Dwight Howard could have had this season. And for Lakers fans, they also didn't have any expectations of Dwight Howard either. So it went hand in hand for both Laker fans and Dwight Howard this season. Number 4. He's tried to get the crowd on his side. I think you can definitely see Dwight Howard's engagement with the fans has been something he's been trying to purposely do this season. Throughout the start of the season, every time he gets a block shot or does something defensively, he gets the crowd hyped, he gets the crowd involved. Same offensively, if he gets a putback slam, does something amazing, the crowd gets hyped, and Dwight Howard brings the energy there, which is something I think he's definitely tried to do, which obviously he did that in the past in LA, but I think this year he's definitely making a conscious effort to get the crowd more on his side, which obviously it's worked in my opinion. But it's not only that. At the start of the year, he was going down to LA and playing on the streets, and that's when LA fans didn't know what he would be like this season. They just knew him from how he played in 2013, and then obviously being injured last season, he barely got to play. So going to the streets and getting to know the fans and playing alongside them, dunking with them, I think that was something that was definitely a conscious effort too, and I think it's definitely worked. Lastly, the dunk contest. If he does, Lakers fans will go nuts. They have a guy that was once an NBA dunk champion going back there at 34 years old. And what's going to be even more exciting is that if he actually does join in on the dunk contest, he's not only going to have the whole Laker nation behind him, but so many NBA fans are going to be excited to see him back there because he is 34 years old and we've seen him fly through the air during his prime, and now he's 34. We still see him do some things on the court where you're like, he's still athletic as hell. He still has amazing hops. So I think that will not only make it exciting for the NBA, but Lakers fans will be so ecstatic to see that because it's just something you don't see every day. Number 3, and I think this is really important, he's actually just healthy again, and you can tell he's enjoying that. Dwight Howard during his stint in LA obviously was unhealthy. He still played 76 games, but you could tell he was playing with a torn labrum and so many other injuries that year. So it was just obviously hard for him, and I think obviously Laker fans were disappointed in that. But obviously he couldn't help that. And then obviously last season with the Washington Wizards, he only played 9 games. So the fact that this year he's healthy, he's not playing as many minutes, but he's impacting the game on the limited minutes that he's playing, I think that's been really good to see, because no matter who the player is, when they're healthy again and they're playing well, it's just really fun to watch. And I think that's why he's enjoying it a lot more than the previous stint in LA, even though his averages and his playing time cannot compare. Which goes hand in hand with number 2. Dwight Howard just plays his role. Doesn't do any more, doesn't do any less. He's on the team for a reason. Hustle points, rebounds, crash the glass, defend. That's his role, and that's what he's doing. He doesn't have to do anything more and anything less, because with Dwight Howard, the Lakers don't want him to score. He's not there to be a second option on a team anymore. He's there to play his role, and that's it. And that's exactly what he's doing, and he's fit in so well. And a lot of people at the start of the year, including Laker fans, didn't know if Dwight Howard would be able to put his ego aside and play his role for the team. But that's exactly what he's doing, and he's loving it, and Laker fans are loving it too. And lastly, at number 1, I think they're just a better group of teammates. Obviously, yes, I'm not part of the NBA. I'm just a guy who makes videos on the NBA and looks at it from the outside. But what I've seen from the outside, it just looks like Dwight Howard's just enjoying his teammates and having a lot of fun. When he was there in 2013, he had Kobe Bryant. And obviously Kobe Bryant was one of the greatest players of all time, but he's a guy that forces you to work hard and win. And he does that at all costs. Obviously, he would have been a hard teammate to get along with, and Dwight Howard, I just don't think he would have loved to play alongside Kobe, simply because it just would have been about winning, which yes, of course it's great, but at the same time, you can tell that Dwight Howard's enjoying his time in LA, and after the win against the New York Knicks, he said this, so you can tell he's obviously enjoying his teammates' company too.
Offensively, when you take a look at what this Lakers team is trying to do, I mean, 6 in a row, but you've done that so many times this season already. Contributions up and down the roster. How much does that help that it's been a total team effort here?
Man, it's been great. Everybody on this team, we got one goal and one mission. Doesn't matter who get the glory or the points, we just all want to win, and it feels good to see our brothers succeed. And all our guys are just happy and they just want to win. You know, there's no egos, there's no pride, it's nothing but just pure joy for basketball.
Dwight, congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Not only that, we've seen him just have a lot of fun before the game. We've seen him have a lot of fun with JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, and all these other players. And it's also a veteran team. This is a team that's a veteran group that I think works well with Dwight Howard, as he's also a veteran. This is a man that before the season said he didn't really have a lot of friends in the NBA.
So, do you hang out with basketball players?
Not really. I don't. I don't.
Who are you closest to in the league?
That's a really good question. I haven't really been. I've had some friends. Sam Decker. Then you have guys like Isaiah Cannon, Rob Covington. You know, those guys was really cool. And Jody Meeks, I would say he'll probably be one of my closest friends. I just never had, a lot of friends. You know, I've always been kind of weird.
And now from the outside, I think Dwight Howard has actually made some friends. I think JaVale's a good guy that he gets along with well. Rajon Rondo and Dwight obviously seem to have some good chemistry. LeBron played with Dwight on the Olympics, but I think as a teammate it's a lot different. And I think LeBron is a bit of a more energetic and happier guy than Kobe ever was. So that's what I think. It's obviously all speculation, but I think this is how Dwight Howard has gone from a hated player in the Lakers to a hero. He's a guy that could definitely impact a game on the defensive end going into the playoffs, and that's going to be exciting to watch. He changes the game on so many levels, and every time he's in the game, it's so fun and exciting to watch because he's been able to transform the way that the Lakers play defense, and it's so exciting. With that said, let me know what you think about Dwight Howard and his reinvention in LA. Comment what you think about Dwight Howard's season so far. If you enjoy the video, smash that like button to support the channel. Subscribe if you're new for more NBA content every single week. Hit the notification button so you never miss an upload. And it's been your boy Smith. I am out. Peace.